What is up, weekenders? I'm Corbin. Welcome to my channel, and we're out here to show off something cool that I think you guys are gonna like. I think it's gonna be a pretty big change for the Bronco community. So we're out here with Chris from Lobo Off-road, and we're gonna be checking out his new suspension package that he has on his Bronco right here. So Chris, tell me, what do you have right here on your Bronco?
So here we have a +4 kit with X-Travel technology. It's technically a mid-travel kit.
Okay.
You get about 13 inches. If you see, it's a little innovative compared to what the conventional kits that you see.
Yeah, it looks different.
The upper, there is no single upper or lower A-arm.
Okay.
It's individual link. With this system, it has a virtual pivot. So instead of the tire rotating off the axis between the upper and lower A-arms, it's rotating off the axis of the tire, and the actual suspension itself is moving forward or back. So if you take a shot from here.
Yeah, so it looks like you have the two different arms right here.
You see, if you come in from the side, you can see how it's actually shifted forward because it's rotating off the pivot of the tire.
Okay.
And now this is going forward. Now, if we turned right, this would actually be behind the tire. By doing that, it's taking all, you know how the Broncos have weak racks, weak tie rods, all that is going away with this kit.
Yeah.
This kit is putting the load through the suspension pivots versus going through the steering rack.
Right, because it's pushed out.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Or the virtual pivot is the main reason.
Okay.
Now, that also creates zero feedback in the steering wheel. Okay. And I know that's a hard thing to grasp until you drive it.
Right.
But now that you have driven it, you can contest that. Like it's something that is unexplainable.
Right, yeah. I mean, so we're gonna go out and we're actually gonna test this here, but I just wanted to show you guys what the actual kit looks like. So this will work with pretty much most aftermarket shocks, right? So it'll work with like Kings and Fox, right?
So right now, this shock is based off of your aftermarket shock, the 2.5 or 3.0, Fox or King.
Okay.
If people already have those shocks, we have a retro kit that will change the spring rate and change the lower eyelet to accommodate our kit.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else crazy with this kit? So it looks like you have to run a tie rod sleeve that kind of extends out the tie rod.
Yeah.
So it'd be axle shaft also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Which we provide the axle shaft and the steering extension.
Okay,
Again,
cool.
We're not very concerned about running an extension versus an aftermarket tie rod.
Okay.
Due to the fact that
it's less stress over time, right?
Exactly.
Like it's not going to be stressed as much because there's no feedback.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. That makes sense. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. The kit seems cool, and I think we should just go drive it and see what it feels like.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, we're in Baja mode, ready to go. All right. So what does this have for shocks in it?
So this has the Fox 3.0.
Okay.
We have not done any shock testing or revalving yet. So this is straight
out the box?
Straight out of the box, front and rear.
Okay. And any rear arms or anything like that yet?
No, everything is stock in the rear minus the shocks.
Okay. Oh wow, okay. This already feels better, not gonna lie. I mean, we just barely hit a little small bumps right there, and
your conventional suspension has caster and camber and toe, etc. Or this has a virtual pivot. So the caster is a virtual point that everything pivots off the center of the tire patch versus off of the mechanical mechanism of the upper and lower A-arm.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I can kind of feel it. It's kind of cool. The turning radius is still pretty impressive. I feel like that's not affected at all, if not maybe even better, no? So
actually, we have more turning radius, but it kind of levels out with the kit being wider, because as the vehicle gets wider, it has a worse turning radius.
Okay.
But by providing more turning angle, we're able to compensate for that.
Okay. I'm gonna hit some of these bumps right here. See how that feels. Oh, dude, the steering wheel almost feels like it's just like...
Yeah, it's
like dead straight. Like we just hit a big bump right there and the steering wheel just was there. Like it didn't do anything. It was where I had it in my hands.
Exactly.
It didn't like...
It's a point and shoot system.
Yeah.
So wherever you want to go, you point that wheel and it'll go there.
Right, yeah. And so, I mean, I'm going over like some pretty big bumps right now. And I mean,
You can literally let go of the wheel.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm going over like big bumps right now, and it's like, this normally would be very jerky, very all over the place. And I mean, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and as the Bronco community's like in the sand, in the rocks, and etc., that's why we wanted to provide something that gives them that constant consistency of knowing what the suspension is going to do and when it's going to do it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like the conventional A-arms, it does not have that predictability. It'll jerk when that rock's on the left or this one's on the right, etc.
It feels very confidence inspiring. It's almost like it's very, I guess there's no other way to put it. It's just very confidence inspiring. It makes you want to do everything. It's kind of cool. I mean, that was pretty nuts, and it just stayed right there. So we're coming up in a little. You can
hit that rock right there, and it won't do anything. So what the suspension does is that it takes the load that would typically be going through the steering and puts it through the suspension links themselves.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not your conventional 3-point upper A-arm or lower A-arm. It's 2 individual links, so a total of 4 points. Which now, that's distributing the load and with more joints. And then also, we all know that the Bronco has a weak steering rack, and it's always the tie rods are weak, etc. But with this system,
so this is going to take pressure off of the tie rods.
100%.
Okay, well that's going to be huge. So it theoretically should almost eliminate any tie rod breakage, hopefully in the future, right?
To an extent. Like there is nothing preventing if the tire is completely against a rock and then you turn into it, that is the weight of the vehicle going against the tie rod. But when the vehicle is in motion, any load coming from the front of the tire,
so any like shock load or anything like that is not going to transfer into the tie rod.
Correct.
Okay.
It goes through.
I'm tracking.
Through the suspension pivots.
Okay.
So that'll just make the racks live longer, the tie rods live longer.
Yeah, it's just less long-term stress on it.
Exactly.
Nice.
Now with the suspension, you're not limited by the vehicle's feedback, you're limited by the driver's capabilities.
Right, yeah.
So any Bronco owners out there inspiring to be off-road racers, this is the key.
Yeah, this definitely feels very race car-esque. Like, it's just, you know, you want to go, it feels good, it's where you point it. It's pretty awesome, especially paired with those nice new shocks that you have.
So the kit is going to be based around the Fox and the Kings.
Okay.
So they will accept both.
Okay.
You know, depending on if you want the 2.5s or the 3.0s.
Okay. Do a little bit of rocks right here. Look at those feels. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, those are pretty popular option shocks.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that I'll be able to work with those.
We're also offering a retro kit because these are the upgraded shocks for your Bronco. So therefore, if somebody already has these shocks, we can provide a retro kit that switches out the lower eyelet and switches out the spring to compensate for the kit.
Okay, good. This way they don't have to buy, you know, a whole new shock package.
Exactly.
Awesome. I mean, dude, it is truly good. Dude, there's no way. Dude, my Bronco would sound like it would explode.
It's difficult to get this message across without somebody actually feeling it.
Right, yeah. It's like, I don't know how a better way to show it other than just like, guys, this feels just good. It feels like the way it should be, almost, you know? It's like what you've always wanted your suspension to feel like. But you know, the factory stuff just doesn't provide that, but this does.
Yeah. Like you literally can go through rock gardens with 2 fingers on the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I mean, everyone hates rock gardens, so just to make that more comfortable alone is pretty awesome.
There's many trails up here. I remember the first time a year ago at this event, I was up here and I think we were doing a trail that had a lot of craters in the hard pack slick rock, and the steering wheel was bouncing back and forth, and I knew about this X-Travel technology, and that's after the event I went back and discussed with them that we have to bring this to the Bronco market and how important it is. And a year later, here we are, and we're going to be going into production.
Yeah, so this derived from a need, essentially.
Exactly.
The Bronco needs this, and I think I can agree with that. I mean, this is pretty eye-opening, how much of a change this made for the better.
It's going to be difficult going back to the stock suspension after driving this.
I don't want to drive mine after this. This just feels too good. Awesome. Well, hey Chris, thanks for letting me test it out. I think this kit's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to see more on it. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And all right, guys, there you go. That is the kit. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Honestly, after driving it, I feel like this is exactly what the Bronco community has wanted out of a front suspension. And this kit, obviously, I think just delivers it. I don't really know a better way of showing how cool this kit is other than just my expressions of driving it. So check it out. Check out the kit. I think it's super cool. But with that being said, guys, if you guys want to see more awesome parts like this and cool innovative stuff for the Bronco community, leave a like below and don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. I guess we'll catch you guys at the next waypoint.